I'm Johan Andersson. I'm the producer at Paradox Interactive. I'm responsible of the development of Hearts Iron III. Hearts Iron III is a deep grand strategy game that plays on a world map covering about 15,000 provinces. You control units, move them around, trying to fight and win the war for your faction, either the Axis, the Communists or the Allies. You also have control of the aspects of the game like politics, intelligence, diplomacy, production, technology, and many other details. Hearts Iron series is unique in its style because it's the only truly grand strategy game. It's the only one with depth that covers the entire world, where you play a country and control every aspect of the game, not just maneuvering troops, but you control diplomatics, production, technology, intelligence, internal politics, and of course warfare.
Why would you say that Hearts of Iron 3 is superior to Hearts of Iron 2?
One aspect is that it looks cooler, it plays cooler, and is cooler. Well, seriously, I'm kind of proud about our new unit system, where it has this unit hierarchy, where you can you don't have to give orders, as an example, to every single little division, but you can say you want to control at a higher level. If you're playing at an army group, you just give order to that army group, take this objective, then the AI will control the units below it for you. That works out absolutely great when you're playing the game right now, and it makes the game completely unique compared to our previous games. I think the major difference is that we tried to make it more interesting for the veteran players, so that they get more things to do, like more of details, like deeper logistics, more units, bigger maps, more options at every gameplay. And of course, we also want to make it easier accessible to new players, so that you can get easier into the play with quick starts and other things. I wanted to have the game more playable when you had a lot of units, because it was too much to handle at times, and I was thinking that this would be a cool idea. It was an idea I had a few years ago, me and Chris, our designer here, had been talking about it for years and years, and then we finally figured out it would be great in a Hearts Iron 3. And since we were adding more features and more provinces to handle and more detail on units, it was a must to make the game not micromanagement as well.
Will there be as many historical events as in the previous games?
Yes and no. All the historical events from Hearts Iron 2 are in the game. Some of them are events that comes no matter what. Some of them are what we call decisions, which means that you will actually see what you need to do as a player before you can do it. In the previous games, you never knew what you actually had to do to get an Anschluss triggered. Now you have to see that, okay, you have to destabilize the Austrians and make them more fascistic to get them to join Germany. We wanted to make it more obvious to the player what they need to do in the game, and also to make the player feel more historically into the game, not just being told that this happened. It should be more this happens because we are doing this.
Will the gameplay play out like a book each time, or will there be differences?
Most of the time there will be World War II. I think 99.99% of the time, unless you don't want to do it when you're Germany. But you will end up always saying Germany declare war to Poland, fight a war against Britain. You will most likely end up in a war against the Soviet Union between Germany and the Soviets. There will be conflicts with Japan and China, Japan and the Western powers over the Axis, most likely Japanese attacks on the US, etc. But actually how the wars play out, that's up to you and up to the AI to actually be able to win the game. Sometimes Germany wins, sometimes Germany loses, sometimes Japan does better than they did, sometimes they do worse. It's all up to the player.